Good morning and welcome to Tuesday morning yoga. Today we're gonna focus on the hands and the heart. So the hand palms are directly connected to the heart, and how we use our hands can be very indicative of how we are in the world with our hearts. So we'll work a little bit on the connection today. I'm quite tired, so it might be quite a calm class, which will be nice. So take a moment to get yourself organized, get your mat ready. I'm going to use 2 blocks and some pillows today. I put them ready just in case we want to do some nice resting poses. Yeah, I'd say let's start. I'm going to have a few more sips of water. Nice sparkly water. And yeah, let's begin. So I want to start today in a nice reclining pose. Wow. So take 2 blocks, put one on a higher level than the other. So I'm using the medium level on the lower block and the lowest level on the higher block. And I'm going to put a pillow on top of each. So the block underneath my back is underneath the base of my rib cage. And the other block is underneath my head. Very easy. And you can adjust the position a little bit, make sure that you can fully relax. And just settle here, settle down on your blocks. And let the blocks support your full weight. Release your lower back. And let your ribs flare open. Opening your chest, and you can have your hands next to your shoulders, to the sides. Release the back of your neck, and your jaw and your forehead. Feet flop open. Your whole legs are releasing. Breathing into your belly, into your rib cage. And then put your awareness on the palms of your hands. Just notice if you feel any sensations on the palms of the hands. Maybe some tingling, maybe some warmth. Your fingers are relaxed. Wrists are soft and relaxed. And then whatever sensation you're feeling in the palms of your hands, your very sensitive palms of the hands where we have a lot of nerve endings, whatever sensation you notice there, see if you can let that sensation start traveling into the wrists, slowly traveling up the arms, through the lower arm, through the elbow, into the upper arm, the shoulders, all the way into the chest, until it reaches your heart. Energetic connection between the heart and the palms. Energy exchange between the heart and the palms. From here, step your both feet closer to your pelvis. Gently start rolling your pelvis up. And then take the block away from underneath your back. You can keep the block under your head if it feels nice. Lay your back down onto your mat. Breathing deeply into your chest. Still communication between the hand palms and the heart center. And start to slide your hands up overhead. Cross just the thumbs, keep the palms facing up. Arch your back a little bit, opening up the shoulders. Switch the grip, other thumb on top. Same thing. A little bit of a stretch. And then roll yourself to one side. Push yourself up. You can take your block to come to sitting. Sitting either cross-legged or on your knees. Whatever feels good to you right now. Take a few breaths here, sitting upright. Let your hands rest on your thighs. Lengthen the back of your neck. Sink your pelvis down onto the block or floor. And bring your hand palms together in front of your heart. Energy traveling between the hand palms, throughout the arms, into the heart center, back into the hands like an infinity shape, like a figure of 8. And now separate, open your hands, drop them down and lift them up over the sides. Reach up, breathing in, clasp your fingers. Push your palms up to the ceiling. Then round your back forward, opening up between your two shoulder blades. Drop the head, soften the heart space. And then round further down. Release the fingertips. Bend your elbows. Roll your forehead down towards the floor. Gently rolling up. Come back to neutral. Let's repeat that. Lifting the arms up overhead, breathing in. Clasp your fingers above your head. Palms towards the ceiling, lifting up. Breathing out, rounding forward, pushing the palms forward towards the wall in front of you, opening between the shoulder blades. Drop your head. And drop your hands all the way down to the floor. Release the fingers. Bend your elbows. Gently rounding forward. Really easy, really soft here. Just warming up. Then walk the hands back. Round up your spine. Twisting to the right. Keep the left hand on the left knee. Open the right hand slightly on the diagonal behind you. Open palm. Changing sides, right hand on the top of the right knee, twisting to the left, opening the palm. Let's do it one more time. Twisting over to the right side, right hand, palm opens. And changing sides, twisting to the left, left hand, palm opens. Coming back to the center. Now I'll do a little hand and wrist warm up. And start circling both your wrists in and out. Figures of 8 here. You can articulate through the fingers and then reverse the direction. Maybe the wrists are cracking a bit. It's okay. From here, take the left wrist in your right hand and just push it out. Stretching the whole top of the wrist, changing sides, right wrist. So you're pulling all your fingers towards the inside of your elbow. Stretching the top of the wrist. Changing hands again, this time stretching the opposite direction. So pulling all of your fingers towards the top of your shoulder, stretching the base of the wrist. See if you can keep that left shoulder as relaxed as possible. Changing sides. Pulling all your fingers towards the top of your shoulder, stretching the base of the right wrist. And release. And start to pull your left thumb towards the inside of the elbow. Stretch across the base of your thumb on the inside. And then flip that thumb over. So now you're trying to touch the inside of your lower arm with the top of your thumb. So your top of your wrist is stretching and the skin between your thumb and your index finger is getting a stretch. Gently release that and pull your left index finger towards the inside of your elbow, stretching the base of the index finger on the palm side. Keep breathing, keep softening into your left shoulder and reversing this stretch, so pulling the index finger towards the underneath side of your elbow, getting a stretch on the top of the wrist at the same time. Moving down to the middle finger, first pull it towards you, relaxing the rest of your fingers, so you're really stretching just the index finger, the base of the index finger on the palm side, releasing the left shoulder, then reversing direction, pulling the middle finger towards the back of your elbow. And you can experiment here with straightening or bending your elbow. Wherever you feel the biggest stretch, keep it there. Moving down to the ring finger, first pulling it towards you, stretching the inside of the wrist and the inside of the finger. Changing directions, pulling that ring finger down and away from the wrist towards the back of your elbow. And then the pinky finger, same story, pulling it first towards you, stretching the palm side, then the palm side of the pinky finger, the inside, and then reversing, now stretching the outside of the wrist, pulling the pinky finger towards the back of your elbow. And gently release, shake out that hand for a moment. And changing sides. Start by pulling your right thumb towards the inside of your elbow. So as if you're pulling your right thumb towards your bicep. Big muscle at the base of the thumb there. The thumb is has so many possibilities for mobility that can get a bit tight sometimes. And then pulling the thumb towards the inside of your forearm. See if you can move towards touching the thumb on the inside of your lower arm. Keep breathing, keep softening into your right shoulder. And then pulling your right index finger towards you, stretching the base of the inside of that finger, stretching your inner wrist, releasing your the rest of your fingers that aren't being stretched, just soften them. And then reversing, pulling that index finger towards the back of your elbow. You can straighten your arm or bend your arm. Generally, the stretch across the top of the wrist is a bit bigger when you bend. The arm's up to you, or you can move between the two. Moving on to the middle finger, pulling it towards you, towards the inside of your elbow. Keep softening both your shoulders actually. And then pulling that middle finger away towards your back of your elbow, stretching across the top of the wrist. And you're using your left fingers here, the strength of your left fingers to stretch the right fingers, but just the fingers, not so much the whole arm or the shoulder. And pulling the ring finger towards you, towards the inside of your elbow. Keep softening both shoulders. reversing the stretch, pulling the ring finger away from you. Moving on to the pinky finger, pulling it towards you first. You can wrap the fingers of your left hand around the inside of the wrist to help to support. And then reversing, pulling that pinky finger towards the back of your elbow, stretching across the top of the wrist. Then let it go, gently shake out both your hands for a moment in all directions. Remove the block, come to your knees. Place your hand palms on the mat with your fingers pointing towards you, your fingers spread wide. And start to lean back. Stretching the bases of the wrists. And the more you lean back, the deeper the stretch. And then flip the palms, so now your backs of your hands are on the floor, palms facing up, fingers still facing towards you. Same thing, lean back to increase the stretch. Gently let it go. Take your right arm across your chest. Pull it in towards you with the left. Little stretch for the outside of the shoulder. Changing sides, pulling the left arm across your chest with the right hand. And then grab your both hands behind your chest, behind your lower back, interlace your fingers, and if you can, flip the palms away from you so you're opening up the palms down and out. Open your chest. And gently coming back. Now tuck your toes under. Come into a little ball. Little squat, dropping your head, rounding your back fully. Your hands are gently leaning on the floor. Now retake this hand palm heart connection. The heart radiating out through your middle back, your upper back. Energy moving from the hand palms on the floor, through the wrists, elbows, shoulders, into the heart. The heart radiating out throughout the whole body. Softening the fronts of your ankles, softening the fronts of your hips. Releasing your tailbone, dropping your head. And then walk forward into all fours. Spreading your fingers wide. Tuck your toes and gently lift your knees off the floor. Activating your core muscles. Belly button moves in towards the spine. Gently drop the knees back down and arching the back as you breathe in. Breathing out, come back to neutral spine. Push your knees again up. Gently dropping your knees. Now on the out breath, rounding your spine. Coming back to neutral. Let's do that one more time. Pushing into your hand palms to lift your knees off the floor gently. Bringing your knees back down to the floor, then on the in-breath, arching your back. And come back to neutral. Gently push into the floor to lift your knees off. Drop your knees back down, and on the out breath, rounding your back. And come back to neutral. Push your hips back. Keep your toes tucked. Slide your hands forward. Active child's pose. Keep your elbows off the floor. Sink your hips down, stretching into the bases of your toes. From here, walk your both hands over to the right side. And then crawl the left fingertips even further towards the corner, stretching underneath the left armpit. From here, start to walk your hands over to the left side. And then crawl your right fingertips even further forward into the diagonal corner, stretching underneath the right armpit. And gently coming back to the center. Now open your knees a little wider, untuck the toes, sink your whole torso down between your thighs. Let your belly hang out. And then gently, gently coming back to your all fours position. This time with the toes untucked. As you breathe in, lift your right arm up to the ceiling. Breathing out, stick it down underneath the left. Bring your outside of your right shoulder to the floor and push into the left hand palm to twist yourself a little bit more. From here, roll your cheek back down. Start to crawl your left fingertips forward and then over the top of your head into the right diagonal corner. Walk your fingertips as far as possible, then flatten the palm and press it gently down. Equalize your hips, so maybe moving your left hip a little bit to the back so your hips are even, and look up underneath the left armpit. From here, roll your face back down. Start crawling your fingertips back Placing the left hand next to your face. Now start to walk both your knees backwards until you're lying on your belly on top of your right arm. You can lengthen the left arm on top of the right. And breathing into the stretch into the right shoulder. From here, bring the left hand back next to your face and push yourself up. Take the right hand, slide it into the right diagonal corner as far away as possible. And then start to roll your left foot up and over the right, rolling towards your back. Stretching the front of your right chest. Breathing here, releasing the right shoulder. Gently come back to your belly. Bring both your hands next to your shoulders. Push yourself up into all fours. Spreading your fingers out wide. Knees below hips, wrists below shoulders. Breathing in, lift your left arm up. And as you breathe out, stick it down underneath the right, threading the needle. Lay your left cheek on the floor and then push down into the right hand to twist your back. And roll your cheek back down to the floor. Start crawling your right fingertips up and over your head towards the left as far as possible. And sinking that hand palm down. Equalize your hips. Bring your right hip a little bit to the left and back. Looking up underneath the right armpit. And gently start to walk your hand back. Place it next to your face. And start walking your knees back one by one until you're lying on your belly. Slide your right hand on top of the left. Release both of your shoulders. Soften lower back. Breathing into your left shoulder. Releasing down to the floor. And place your right hand next to the face. Push yourself up. Slide your left hand into the left corner where you walk your fingertips as far as possible away from you. And then start to roll yourself towards the back. So your right foot lifts up and over the left. Big twist, big stretch for the left side of your chest. Left shoulder, left armpit. Softening into the floor. And then gently, gently roll back to your stomach. Place your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up into all fours. Spreading your fingertips wide. Make a few circles through the wrists. And reversing directions. Really moving your chest all the way over your fingertips. And then tuck your toes under. Lift your hips. Press yourself into a little downward dog. Walk your feet out. And keep walking your feet out as you move them closer and closer in. Coming to a small forward fold. Bend your knees a little bit. So drape your torso over your legs. Drop your head. Your hand palms are on the floor. Or if it's hard for you to reach the floor, you can put them on top of two blocks. Hand palms in touch with the floor or blocks, taking energy out of the ground, moving that energy up through the arms into the heart center. From here, bend your knees deeply, round your spine up very slowly, vertebra by vertebra. Coming all the way to standing. Open your palms. Soft but open palms. Directly connecting into the chest. Move your hand palms behind your lower back. Interlace your fingers. Pull the hands a little bit back and away from you. Open your chest. Very, very small here. Not back bending yet. We're just opening the chest and the throat. Very simple, very easy. Gently release. Release the grip on the fingers. Open the palms. Then open your arms. Bring them up overhead. Swan diving forward. Bend your knees a little bit as you come halfway up. Round down. Place your hands spread on the floor and step your feet into a plank position. Strong connection through the hands into the floor, all the way into both arms, into the heart. Heels reaching back, pushing up between your shoulder blades. And place your knees on the floor. Bend your elbows, knees, chest, chin. So your pelvis is facing up still. From here, slide your chest forward, come into a small cobra, opening your chest, untucking your toes. From there, rolling the weight back down. Tuck your toes under, press yourself up, then lengthen your legs into plank pose. Press yourself into downward dog. Letting your heart sink towards the floor here, opening your heart, opening the backs of your legs, the soles of your feet. Shift the weight into the left foot, lift the right foot up, flex parallel, not too high, very easy. Going through that right foot, pull the knee into the chest, rounding the back, roll yourself forward, and step the foot between the hands. Open your chest and lifting your chest up, come to the tips of your fingers. Shift the weight forward and back a few times, softening the front of your left hip. And then drop the left knee down to the floor. Sink your torso down, right elbow leaning on top of right knee. From here, bring your hands to your lower back, interlace the fingers, pull your hands over your head. Keep sinking the weight down into the right knee. And then gently roll yourself up. Keep your hands, palms connected behind your lower back. Your left knee is still on the floor. Now open your chest. Drop your head if it's okay for your neck. Maybe pull your hand palms a little bit out and away from you. Keep sinking your hips down lower. And gently release. Lift both your arms up. Lift the left knee up. And reach forward on a diagonal. Drop your hands down. Step into plank pose. Now it's your choice. Either your knees come to the floor or you keep them long. Chaturanga down. Small cobra or upward facing dog if you're ready. Into downward facing dog. Softening your heart center. Like you're pouring the contents of your heart onto the floor. Shift the weight to the right foot, lift the left foot up, parallel, very easy, not too high. Pointing through that left foot. Start to pull your knee towards your chest, rounding your back to roll forward, to step the foot between the hands. Come onto your fingertips to open up your chest and shifting the weight forward and back a few times. And drop your right knee. Drop your torso, leaning your left armpit on top of your left knee. And reach your hands behind your lower back. See if you can keep the other thumb on top this time. Interlacing your fingers, pulling your hands overhead. And from here, round yourself up. Keep the interlacing of the fingers, maybe connecting your palms all the way, rolling up, then dropping your head back if it feels okay for your neck. Maybe pulling your hands a little bit out and away from you. Keep sinking your hips down lower. And gently come back to the center. Unclasp your hands, lift your arms. Lift the right knee off the floor. Strong warrior one. And reach forward on a diagonal to bring your hands down next to your foot. Step into plank. Chaturanga down. Cobra or upward facing dog. into downward facing dog with always an optional extra push up there. And then look up at your hands, they're walking your feet forward, going to halfway up, rounding yourself down. You can still have your knees a little bit bent here. And let's clasp the hands behind the lower back and drop them down in your forward fold. Keep a connection between your belly and your upper thighs. Release the back of your neck, soften your jaw. And with each out breath, your hands fall a little bit lower down. Bring your hands back to your lower back and now change the grip, so put the other thumb on top and drop them down once more. And gently bring your hands back to your lower back. Unclasp the fingers. Bring your hands back to the floor, seeing if you can straighten through the knees as much as possible, keeping your lower belly and your upper thighs connected. You can bend and straighten the knees a few times. And the next time you bend the knees a little deeper and roll yourself up slowly, slowly. One vertebra at a time until you're all the way up. Open your soft palms, open your heart. Reach your arms up overhead. And swan diving down. Come halfway up. Step or jump into plank pose. Chaturanga down. Upward facing dog. Into downward facing dog. And lift your right leg off. This time opening the hip. Bend that knee. Lift the knee a little bit higher to the ceiling. Then pull the knee in towards the chest. Round your back to roll forward. Stuff the foot between the hands. Come into warrior one. Sink your hips a little lower. Open into warrior two, dropping the left heel down to the floor. And straighten your front knee. Flip the right palm, drop the left hand to the back of your left leg. Breathe in and softly bend back. And gently coming back to upright. Bend your front knee. Strong warrior two. Sink your hips a little bit lower. twist yourself back forward. So dropping your left arm, circling both arms all the way up, lifting your left heel. Now bring that left heel, that left knee down to the floor. Twist yourself open towards the right. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee and press a little bit into your right foot to shift your pelvis back. Start reaching towards the back of your left heel with your right fingertips. Once you reach the foot, lift your left arm up. Square off your shoulders, so bring your left shoulder back, right shoulder forward. And if you can, drop your head back and reach the left arm back. Opening into the chest. And gently come out of this, reaching yourself forward. Sink your hips down. Bring both hands next to your right foot. Drop your torso down. Now straighten your left knee. Drop your left heel to the floor. Keep that connection between the right armpit, right knee. Dropping your head. Bring your hands behind your lower back. Clasp the fingers. Drop the hands behind your back. Humble warrior. Sinking your hips a little bit lower. Keep the outside of your left foot connected to the floor. Left knee straight. And gently drop the hands back down. Come back into your lunge, lifting the left heel. Step the right foot back into plank. Reaching the heels back. Pressing into the hands. Chaturanga down. Upward facing dog. Into downward facing dog. Lifting your left foot off the floor, reaching it back and up. Opening the hip, pointing the foot. Keep equal weight between your two hands, two shoulders facing down. Bend the left knee. Lift that knee a little bit up higher to the ceiling. Then pull the knee in towards the chest. Round your back. Roll forward. Step the foot between the hands. Come into warrior one. Sink the hips a little bit lower as you breathe out. And open into warrior two, dropping the right heel down to the floor. And straighten the front knee, flip the front palm. Drop the right hand to your back of your right leg, lift the left arm, reach the chest up and over. Small back bend. Gently going back to the center. Bending left knee. Now drop your right hand down. Lift the right heel, twisting yourself back forward, lifting both arms up. Sink your hips down, drop your right knee to the floor. Twisting yourself over to the left, Connect the outside of the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Press down into your left foot to shift your hips a little bit back. Then reaching for the right heel with the left hand. Once you've reached that, lift your right arm up. Bring your face forward. Square off your shoulders. Left shoulder coming forward, right shoulder moving back. And dropping your head backwards. Flip your right palm facing in and bring that right arm overhead. Opening the chest. Very, very gently coming out of this. Dropping both hands next to your left foot. Sink your hips. Drop your torso down. Rest your torso on top of the left side. Dropping your head. And here, lift your right knee. Drop your right heel to the floor. Sink the outside of the right foot into the floor. Keep leaning left armpit on top of left knee. Interlace your fingers. See if you can get the other thumb on top. Dropping your hands overhead behind you. Keep releasing the back of the neck. Keep sinking down your hips. Humble warrior. And from there, dropping the hands back down. Sliding hands next to foot. Lifting the right heel. Big lunge. Stepping into plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Let's come into child's pose. Releasing your hips down into the floor. Soften the back of your neck, soften your jaw. And walk your hands closer in, roll up your spine. Bring your hands to prayer behind your back if you can. If it's too intense for your shoulders, you can grab opposite elbows like this. But if you can, come to prayer. Connecting the whole palm of the hand, pressing your shoulders a little bit, your elbows towards the back wall, sorry. From here, come to standing on top of your knees. Tuck your pelvis a little bit forward to lengthen the front of your thighs. Reach your chest up and bend gently back. Keep pulling your elbows to the back, opening your chest even more. And then gently coming out of this. Sit back down on your knees. Round your spine forward. Keep your hands in prayer behind your back. Gently roll back up, release the hands, shake out your arms for a moment, your wrists. And let's do that one more time. If you had your hands, if you were grabbing your opposite elbows, change the grip this time. So have the other arm on top. Or come back into your reverse prayer. Walk your fingertips even higher up towards the base of your neck. And then connect the whole hand palm together. So connection from the back of the heart directly to the palms. Both palms connecting together. Lift your pelvis up, come to standing on top of your knees. Start by tucking your pelvis a little bit so you lengthen the tops of your thighs. Then lift the chest up, drop the head, pressing your pelvis forward, bending back, opening your chest, pull your elbows more towards the back. And gently, gently rolling back up. Sit your pelvis back down onto your heels and round your spine. See if you can still here keep the connection between the hand palms. And lift your elbows a little bit more up towards the ceiling. And then gently rolling back up, release the hands, shake out the wrists. Come to a little bow. Then straightening through your legs. Forward fold. Let's step onto our hand palms here for a moment. So hand palms facing up. Lift your feet to step onto the tops of your hands. If possible, with your toes all the way into the creases of your wrists. You can bend your knees to get to this position with your full sole of your feet on top of your hand palms. And then drop your torso down. Keep the connection between the thighs and the belly. Start to work towards straightening your knees. Slide your shoulders down the back away from the ears. Release the top of your head. Roll the weight a little bit forward. And you can bend your elbows in towards the shins. Keep breathing. And then gently bend your knees deeply, release the hands. Bend your knees even deeper, round up your whole spine, slowly, vertebra by vertebra, till you're standing upright, palms facing forward. And lift your right foot off the floor, grab the ankle, come into tree pose. Grabbing hold of the ball of the foot with the left hand. Bring the right hand to prayer for a moment. Lengthen your lower back, so tucking your pelvis a little bit forward so your lower back stays long, you're not hanging in your lower back. Square off your shoulders. Now slide your right hand behind your back and see if maybe you can grab the ball of the right foot with your right hand. Bring your left hand to prayer. Square off your shoulders. Right shoulder comes a little bit forward. Left shoulder back. From here, lift your chest up to the ceiling to start bending forward. Keep the grip. Once you're at a 90-degree angle with a long straight back, long straight left knee, reach your left hand down, round your back. From there, see if you can come back up exactly the same way. So start lengthening your whole back. Strong left straight knee. Coming all the way back up with a long straight back. Square off your shoulders and release the grip. Bring both hands in front of your heart. And then gently release the right foot, step it back down. Open your palms, lift the left foot off the floor, grab it with the right hand. The foot sitting in front of the right hip, drop the left knee down. Left hand comes to prayer, lengthening your lower back. Very gently let the left knee drop, slowly, easily. And slide the left hand behind your back. See if you can grab the top of your left foot with that left hand. Maybe on this side it's different. If you can grab, bring the right hand to prayer, then square off your shoulders. Bring the left shoulder a little bit forward, right shoulder back. Pressing down into the right big toe to keep your balance. And from here, lift the chest to start to bend forward with a long spine. Keep your right knee straight. Once you're at 90 degrees, bring your right hand towards the floor, around your back. Keep a long right standing leg, drop your head. From here, coming out the same way you came in, so lengthen your spine first. Again, pressing down into that right big toe, coming all the way back up the same way you came in with a long spine. Release the grip, bring both hands to prayer. And then step the left foot back down. Drop your hands, open the palms. And heel ball your feet a little bit out. the toes pointing a little bit out. Bring your hands back to prayer. Come into an easy squat position. Hands in prayer. Pressing your chest up and forward. Lengthening your lower back. Drop your shoulders down. Press your knees out to the sides. And release that. Take one of your blocks. Actually, take both of your blocks and make sure your pillows are close by so you can grab them. Come to sitting on the edge of one of your blocks. Drop your knees down. So we're coming to a diamond shape with the legs. Letting the block tip yourself. Tip your pelvis forward. And then we can place the other block. And if you have it, some pillows in front of the pelvis to round the back with some support. Make sure there's space for your head to move. Very simple here, very easy. You can stay for a little while. Letting your knees fall open. Softening the soles of your feet. Softening the palms of your hands. And if at some point you feel you want to go a little bit deeper, you can change the position of your block. And just keep breathing into your belly, into your hips, into the back of your heart space. And gently, gently roll yourself back up. A little counter stretch. Grab your tops of your knees, open your chest, drop your head. And remove your block and your pillows. You can use your hands to bring your knees back together. Hug your knees for a moment, round your back. And then let's come to Shavasana. If you'd like, you can use your pillows underneath your back. For a little bit more support. Open your palms to the ceiling. Let your feet flop open. And release all of your weight down to the floor. Put your awareness on the palms of your hands. See if you notice any sensations on the palms of your hands. And whatever the sensations are, see if you can start to transfer those sensations. Let them move into your wrists, into your lower arms, into your elbows and your upper arms, filling up your whole shoulders, shoulder blades, tops of the shoulders, the whole rib cage. The whole heart space. And you can stay there as long as you like. Thank you very much for joining today. If you'd like to support, all the information is in the description of this video. Thank you so much for those of you that have been supporting. It's very, very much appreciated. And I'm back tomorrow morning, same time. So I hope to see you then. Have a beautiful day.